This is Men Question Everything with Wallace and Dozer. This is episode number 2. Same format, 5 questions. Here we go. Does the Thailand rescue restore your faith in humanity, Dozer? What do you think? It's a big deal. It was everywhere.
Yeah, I was fascinated by it.
I wasn't. I didn't know about it recently. I was like, whoa.
Well, that's a whole nother freaking topic because I think it wasn't widely publicized. One, probably because it was in Thailand. You know, they're a day ahead. Yeah. But two, it's because anytime you fucking turn on the TV and you're looking for news, it's something about Donald Trump.
Well, it's internal.
Yeah, so it just drives you kind of nuts. Mm-hmm. Does it restore my faith in humanity?
Because it seems like there was this big relief. There's always reactions now. You know, like anything that happens now, it's always like, what's the first thing that news channels do or something like a sports thing happens? It's always like reactions around the web. Social media reactions to something. This was like the number one thing on Twitter, CNN, whatever outlet you were looking for. It was weird because it was there.
Well, I think it's a lot. You know, the social media side of it, I think it's a lot like how we watch hurricanes.
Do we watch hurricanes?
I think people do.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone does, but I think people watch hurricanes. Like they care about a hurricane that's in the south, right? Like, you know.
I don't live there, so I'm not sure. I mean, it's terrifying.
But people follow it, right?
Yes, true.
Like, it's really, a hurricane is only affecting a certain percentage of the population.
Yep.
Yet, everyone knows. Like, everyone knew Harvey. Everyone knew, what's a big one?
Katrina.
You know, everyone knew that. Yeah, it's because it destroyed a lot of things. But there is this, I think the social media popularity of it is, truthfully, I think it's a little bit, just human nature is kind of like, wow, they're alive, and are they going to die? And I'm not saying people are hoping they're going to die,
sure,
but it's a possibility. So I think that makes people really uber focused onto it. But does it restore my faith in humanity? No. It restores my faith
temporarily.
I believe there are certain people.
Yeah.
That do things that just blow my mind away. But that's not humanity.
Okay.
You know, like, because, you know, like I thought about that, the divers that they brought.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, you know me in water. I am never fucking going near a cave.
No sharks.
In water. No, fuck sharks in this scenario. I ain't going to no cave with water. You out of your goddamn mind?
Crazy.
That's a dead wish. That's a death wish. Oof. But yeah, I don't think it restores my faith in humanity. It's almost like, goddamn, people are awesome.
That is a nice bright spot because, as you said, we turn on the news and it's, you know, you can say it's all doom and gloom, but I think we're focused on that now. So there's always a lot of good on the news. I'm not talking cat shows or something.
Yeah.
This was pretty badass though. What was that cave incident like 2 years ago? The mining incident. Was that Peru or something?
I think so.
It was somewhere in South America,
yeah.
I want to say.
I think it was Peru where they got stuck in the mine.
Same feeling, though. Everybody was so stoked on that. People were talking about it around the water cooler, and it was just like a thing. Well, but it comes
I think
so
a few
fast.
things. I think a few things. One, I think the Thailand thing was, for me, it was a touching story. I mean, there's
backstories in there, too? Like,
there's just 12 fucking kids and a coach that you know, when you hear this story, people are like, why were they in a cave? Well, okay, it's not like they just crawled into the back of a cave and said, the water came in. They were there because they do it every year at the end of their soccer season to write their names on the wall. And water pushed, basically a flash flood happened, and they had to continue into the cave to get higher ground. They couldn't go out to the thing.
Sure.
So it's not like a bunch of idiots did something, right? You know, and I think the
fact... It's just Darwin, bro.
Yeah, let's go in here, man. Like, it's raining. It's okay. No, it was a tough situation.
Yeah.
And what I think the 12 kids really blows your mind. I mean, you just go, wow, they're, 11 to 16 years old and a 25-year-old coach.
Dude, think about transition that in mindset to an American 12-year-old and then an American 25-year-old. Do you think... What does that feel like? Do you think we would do the same kind of survival as someone in Thailand that maybe is a little less fortunate?
I mean, I do. I do.
So?
Yeah, because I think
I
think the conditions were rough. I think it sucked.
How long was it total? Do you know?
There were I think almost 2 weeks in there.
Holy shit!
And they were found 9 days. So they went 9 days without any. Like they were drinking. I was just reading this. They were drinking like dripping water.
So that was purified by the rocks, I'm assuming.
I guess so. Yeah, moving water. So they were drinking that.
Okay.
Damn, I mean, that's the part I do. I think people are pretty strong.
That's a.
I think, but I don't think that's just because they're from Thailand. I think. It's kind of a hard question to answer, but that wasn't my main point. I think the big thing, though, with that is it doesn't restore my faith in humanity. For me, though, there are some people, like think about those divers. I heard there were some special force guys, and then there was 2 British cave diving experts. Like, tell me where the fuck that list is. Like, I need the number 1.
Who goes to school for that?
I need the number 1 through 20 top cave divers in the world.
Like, is there
a dude with a scroll somewhere that's like, all right, I got their name, number, and address.
They bring Jesus back for this one.
Yeah, he just goes, okay. But I think what's fascinating about that is to go to that. A lot of those guys had to kiss their wife.
Wait.
Kiss their kids goodbye.
So before we go into this, because this is my next question. Why do we care about these tragic situations?
Well, I want to get on this real quick, and then I'll let you answer the first question. But that restores my faith in people, but not humanity necessarily. Just certain people. It's good to know that there are people out there that on a drop of they get a phone call and they go, "Oh, okay, I've been preparing for this. Like I can do it. I can do this.
Woke up
where no one else wants to go in.
Gonna leave.
I can fucking go in.
Human sacrifice.
Yeah,
but that does restore a little bit of that humanity. It's like some people are it's selfless, is it not?
I guess maybe I'm just negative today, but I think humanity. I don't think that's a lot of people. I don't. I don't think that's a lot of people. Like I mean, I think. That is what blows my mind. And there was a lot more than those divers that were there that were fucking busting their ass.
Around the clock,
and those people, that's not what I'm saying by humanity, people. Those people, that is what I'm talking about. Because you can bitch and say, well, fuck, 12 kids are stuck in here. This ain't my problem. I mean, look, a Thai Navy SEAL died. A retired Navy SEAL died doing this. He died giving those kids oxygen, and on the way out he ran out of oxygen.
Damn.
I mean, so like that, yes, that restores my faith. That restores my faith. But I wouldn't say all of humanity. I just think goddamn people are amazing. Some people are fucking amazing. And what they can do and the willpower they have.
Yeah, there wasn't any
and think about
to that. There's no reason.
Well, let you answer this question.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
It does, in a world with a lot of negativity, I think these feel-good stories are a good reminder of the people. Maybe, you're walking down the street, and you could see that an Englishman was, whoever those people were going over there. It didn't matter where anyone was from. It was almost like all hands on deck for people. Do you know what I mean?
Good point.
Because look at
it was no Thai, it was no American,
it was just fucking team.
It was
people,
a person.
Team human.
It was 13 lives and 12 children needed help.
So for me, that restores a little bit, but we're probably it's gonna by day 2, people are like moving on to, as you said, internal selections and votings, and we're gonna forget about all that shit.
Well, when we get to our third question, I'll tell you why it doesn't restore my faith in humanity.
All right.
But let's go to question. 2. Why do we care about that specific situation more than others? And let me preface this question.
Yeah, go.
This doesn't mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't care about this. What's just fascinating is a lot of people die, or a lot of people are in very tough situations throughout the world every minute.
Yeah.
So why care about that?
That is weird. It is weird because, you can have the people that'll say, kids are starving in some parts of India. Like, why aren't you doing something about it? But this comes along and it steals the whole spotlight of, as you said, every minute something wrong is going for anybody, whoever's in that situation. Why do we care about that? God damn, I don't know if that's the media. I don't know if that's engagement, because I'm on my phone, and if I have Twitter on there, I'm looking at it, and it just captured my attention over all the other shit that is already there. Maybe I'm used to people starving in certain areas because that is a quote-unquote developing country. So, well, it's not quote-unquote, it's developing. So, I don't know. That's a hard one.
I think why we care about that specific type of situation is, one, it's very humanizing.
Yeah.
Because it could be our kids. It could have been us. And then, too, the danger, like, oh, my God, they're alive.
Yeah.
And then the planning process to get them out. Right? This isn't like a war where people are dying every day. And there's really, like, what can you do to that? Nothing. Like, there's stop war. That's the thing you can do. Here is a situation, and, it's a lot of people. 13 people were trapped somewhere. And we knew about it. And they're alive. And it's really hard to get to them. And I think that is the thing that kind of hook, line, and sinkers people. Because you just kind of go, oh, my God, what are they going to do? And then you figure out what they're going to do. You see who's involved. And then you see the divers and the Navy SEALs and the people helping.
How was the media on it? I didn't really see any of it. Was it on television?
I don't know. It was kind of hard to see. I mean, I would say it was publicized and it was on the media. But
you had reporters there, I'm assuming?
Yeah, there was thousands of reporters there. But it seemed pretty hush-hush.
Felt like it.
Like when they were doing the rescue, they got all the media out of there and stuff like that. But what was fascinating to me, and I think this is why this answers the question number 2, is it was kind of like pins and needles, because you're like, okay, yeah, simple answer is go in there, give the kids scuba gear, and scuba them out. Yeah. Then you start to think about that and you go, 11 to 16-year-olds, fuck, even a 25-year-old that's never scuba dived, it's got to go scuba diving through a cave. And you're like, holy shit.
So small.
At least for me, this is how I did it. And I go, holy shit, man. Think about those divers that are going in there. Think about how calm they have to be in a situation they've probably never been in. I mean, from all accounts, it was one of the hardest dives you could do in the world.
That's insane.
So you got these divers that have to be uber calm. And why do they have to be uber calm? Because not only do their lives matter, but the people's lives that they're saving matter. They have to get young children out of a 6 to 9 hour mission. And I think that's what captivates us. One, I mean, it's almost like the car crash, right? Why do a lot of people watch NASCAR? Well, because cars crash.
It was a Budweiser.
And it's kind of cool. Yeah, and beer in America. That's too why. But no, I mean, it's like crashing. You know, like, four were rescued. Tomorrow. So that is it going to be 3 rescued? Oh, of course it is.
Well, because, so you can break it down to the most evolutionary thing. We want to watch, we're attracted to dangerous things, right? Tribal shit.
We're attracted to life on the line.
Well, there it is. So people come and tell stories. Oh, 2 big mammoths over there. And you're encapsulated by this story because you're not going to go there now. We love this story because it's like a dangerous thing. That's why we love thriller movies, mysteries.
Well, and it's also something we couldn't do, right? If that was my son, no. I can't scuba dive in there to fucking get him. But I can't. I am not the expert in the world at scuba diving. I think that's fascinating to watch all these brains come together. To help other people, and how quickly it happened. Yeah, I mean, they were found, I believe, July 3rd, and a week later, they were all out. Like, that's fucking fascinating. So I think that is why that specific situation captivates us.
Just the complexity of it all.
Yes, it's complex. It's not drone strikes kills kids. That's sad, but that's news. You kind of go, I don't need to hear that today. Not because I'm pretending I don't want to hear it. It's not in the world, but there is no possibility for a happy ending there. It's true. There is a possibility for a happy ending here, but there's also a possibility. There was a possibility for a nightmare there too. Yeah, and there's a possibility for watching skilled experts do something and just going, holy shit. That's amazing.
This is not, I mean, it's kind of relatable. I'll do it quickly, but there was a fire on one of like the Emirates planes in, say, I don't know, Abu Dhabi or something, and 144 people got off with no injuries. The only person that got killed was a fireman in that area. So it's like that just brings me, that attracts me, as you just said before, as the people that are doing this. Not because somebody's putting a gun to their head and saying you have to be a scuba diver to go to this. Yeah. This is their personal choice to try to help. That is the pull to me. Is like, holy shit, the human sacrifice.
That's right. It's not simple life on the line. I mean, life on the line is never simple, and I don't really mean it that way. But I'm saying there's guys you got to call in, and the guys that call in. True. Yeah. That is what's fascinating, right? Like, it's just understanding the medical side of it, understanding the the scuba side of it, understanding the strategic and like military side of it, of getting people out of a place, young children, scared, tired, weak, making them swim over 2 miles, I believe it is, underwater in a cave.
Damn.
Like, yeah, so I think that answers that question for me. Is, you know, I think it's just, it's almost a perfect blend of what makes us interested in things.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's awesome, because this leads right into our next question, what we're attracted to, the garbage of life. Why do social media trolls do what they do? And this will kind of piggyback off of this question. You recently reached out on Twitter or commented on something and then took a lot of shit for it.
Well, I didn't take a lot of shit for it. The girl blocked me, which was fascinating.
Yeah.
I wasn't rude or anything. But, you know, I was fascinated by Elon Musk. One, I'm fascinated by that guy anyway. He's a billionaire genius.
But the trolls come out to play for that.
Oh, man, I was fascinated. Dude, why do... So, the question... We should say question 3. Question 3 is, why do social media trolls do what they do? Mm-hmm. My easy answer is because it's easy. It's fucking easy to sit behind a keyboard and say something. And so the situation, and I don't want to make it all about that, but it was fascinating me because I was following Elon Musk, and this person asked him, Elon, you know, like, hey, Mr. Musk, we would love you're a genius, basically. You're an inventor, you're a creator. We'd love your help.
That's really cool.
In figuring out how to save these kids.
Yeah. And
Elon Musk's like, okay, I'm on it, man.
And he's dealing with getting us as humans, going back to our humanity.
Oh, he runs like to the how many companies? He runs $3 billion companies each. You know,
no emissions, right? So all like pure electric.
Well, not SpaceX, but
but this is what I'm. Like,
he is a
guy that's doing this type of shit.
He is a guy that is an innovator and a thinker.
And his brother does the same shit for food on this planet. It's amazing. So yes, continue.
So I was just reading it, and I found this girl, and I don't even know what she does, nor do I know her name. Yeah. But she said that, you know, it's disgusting watching Elon Musk peacock over this. And normally I don't say shit on Twitter, but I thought, dude.
Why did that strike a nerve, though? So here's my thing is, why do the trolls do what they do? Was that to just...
You talk about humanity? You talk about humanity?
Yep.
Like, no offense, but if I was a fucking billionaire, I don't give a shit about 12 kids in Thailand. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and I don't really know that. I'm just saying, if most of us had $1 million, most of us don't, there, and half the people didn't fucking care.
Nobody from Walmart was there.
Yeah. There was no one else there. Mm-hmm. And you're saying this guy's general act of trying to solve a complex situation is a PR stunt for peacocking? First of all, he was asked. And second of all, he used his own time and energy and money to do that.
Yep.
And yeah, they didn't end up using the idea, but that's not the fucking point. That is...
It could be for
First
future.
of all,
could be the
I just want to throw this thing out here.
Yeah.
PR, that is the... any PR company would say, Elon, what the fuck are you doing? You don't know if this thing works that you created.
What if it's dangerous?
Yeah. What if it kills one of the 12 kids?
Damn. Yeah, it's true.
That's shit PR for Elon Musk. Now, genius inventor kills one of the kids with his dumb idea.
Well, space thing blew up.
Is it PR or is it general interest to solve humankind's problems? Because the humankind problem is there's 12 kids in there and one coach. Mm-hmm. And the only way to get them out is to get the best divers in the world and put scuba gear on these kids. Damn. Elon Musk said, let me see if I can come up with something. So all these people, and then, you know, why do people do this with social media? Because I think it's so easy to say that about another person. You know, it's so like, and then the funny thing is you read a couple comments down and you go, well, Elon Musk didn't do anything for Flint, Michigan, or the children,
or the hurricanes.
Yeah, like. Okay. So now he's peacocking over here because he didn't choose something that you think is relevant to be solved. Go fuck yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that is what bothers me about social media and to
trolls.
Well, it's not just
specifically the trolls.
This girl, I do not think was a troll. I think she was just...
She thought you were a troll. She blocked you.
Yeah, blocked me. I wasn't rude at all.
I bet she was satisfied and went, oh,
Yeah.
Goodbye,
She said, he has a bad brain. Like,
yeah, like, this guy's a fucking
You know
idiot.
why? Because I approached it logically. Mm-hmm. I'm not an Elon Musk dick sucker here. I'm just telling you. It's fascinating to me. You want to talk about fascinating? It's fascinating. A billionaire
took the time.
that has much other shit to do.
To a social media post.
Not only took the time, and this was not a famous. This was not a famous person that asked him. This was
isn't
some
Kim Kardashian going.
This was some person in Thailand that asked him. It seemed like.
Yep.
And not only that, he spent time, energy, and effort. And then some asshole below that goes, "It's not his money. He just gets government subsidies. It's welfare." I'm like, okay, if you make money off the government, dummy. This is fucking capitalism. It's yours, asshole. There's a lot of people that make money off the government.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. Tesla makes a lot of money off the government because of emissions. Go buy a fucking hybrid. You'll make money off the government too, dummy.
Go create it yourself.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it's just easy to think that certain people are doing things for weird reasons, and maybe Elon Musk is. I don't know. But how the hell does anyone else know enough? All I know is, boy, it's pretty fascinating. The guy that has a lot of bigger shit in his mind to worry about took the time, energy, and effort, and seemed like he genuinely and genuinely cared. Yeah, but you know why? Because he's a human problem solver.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He loves to solve a problem.
How old is he? 40?
I think he's probably 30-something.
Fuck. So we have a lot of time with this guy.
Maybe he is 40. I don't know. 40, 41. I don't know.
He's done pretty good so far.
You think? He's done way more than I have. But anyway,
kind of a bit,
the social media trolls, why do you think they do what they do?
Why do I think they do what they do? For exactly that. You got riled up, but for good reason, because you had logic to prevail. This guy's doing something good. He's taking the time for it. I feel like it's easy for a troll to then just bring somebody down with a sports team loses on Twitter. It's always the Michael Jordan cry face. Like, people just do funny shit because they want that reaction. And the more I kind of interact with younger generations, even 4 or 5 years down, it's crazy because how much social media and kind of that just technology is in your day-to-day. So this is their kind of comment. Instead of making a joke within their friends, boom, the thing's out there. They're being a troll. They're being an asshole. You guys ever want to watch something funny on trolls? You watch that entire 3-part by South Park about trolls. It's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious because they just make fun of how people just sit behind a computer and troll.
Well, it's a type of person. It's a type of person.
Yeah,
like, and right. I don't think a troll is someone that makes fun of anything, right? Like, there's shit that's funny and you make fun of it. Mm-hmm. But when you are just basically doing something with no basis or no logic, like, there's funny shit that some people could say is trolls. At least you're being funny about it. Like,
but even that term is genius because think, what is a troll? Like living under a bridge, just hey.
I used to know a couple of girl trolls. Like, you stay away from those women. Next thing you know, you'd be married to them for 40 fucking years, hating your life. But I mean, it's a fascinating thing. And it's just
why do they do what they do? Because they're fucking trolls. They're assholes.
They're
not contributing anything positive to the world. Like
they've made. I think it's even a little bit deeper, and we can cap it.
Yeah,
I think most of these trolls have made up their mind on everything.
It's almost like a team now that they're team troll. They feel proud of that.
Yeah, they've made up their mind, which leads us perfectly into our next question because I'm curious about this.
This is a hot one.
What are your thoughts on the border?
Like, elaborate on that. Like, just in general, the situation.
You're a traveling
separations with people going on in the States or any border, like Thailand. Or
the main thing we're talking about is we're talking about the United States here.
Okay.
So the main thing, let's talk about the main thing that's on there.
Yep.
Separation.
It's hard because, I mean, even in the media, I'm confused. I turn it on one day and it's, all this praise about DJD or DJT just signing this thing. Just signing this thing like, oh, we're definitely separated. And then all of a sudden, like 4 days later, it sounded like it was reversed and it was okay.
It's real
to
good.
Keep the families okay. So it's like, or together. So I'm always confused with the border. For me, I'm like, okay, what's changed? People are trying to come to a prosperous country. Nothing has changed in a long time.
Well,
so
and
nothing's been built.
Listen, I'm not a Republican, and nor am I a Donald Trump fan.
What's that called? Where you're a libertarian? Is that?
I'm a libertarian, which basically means you think the whole thing's a fucking gimmick.
Yeah,
because you're never going to win as a libertarian. But the fascinating thing to me about this, and this is why I bring this up, because it is somewhat in line of why we pick facts, certain facts. Like, I'll say this: it's fascinating to me that we are in an uproar in this country about them separating children. Now, do I think fundamentally it is sad that we're separating children? Yes.
Yeah, it's
probably
awful.
Let's dissect it. Let me just think where my head's at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got a house in Kansas, right?
Yep.
It's a meth house. It's a mom and it's a husband and a wife, and they got 3 young children.
Yep.
Boom. Cops knock down the door, raid the house. Are they all going to be in a prison cell together? The 3 kids
Negative.
and the parents?
Negative.
Okay, why? Because that's illegal, right? It is illegal.
Gonna have to go to like court and then get
They're
child
going to
protective
the kids are going to be in child
services.
protective services. They're going to be held in certain situations.
Yep.
They're going to be held in not halfway houses, but what is a
Like a
boarding
home.
house almost? Yeah, some
we'll call it
foster
that.
home. There
Yeah.
you go. Okay, because it's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
It is illegal to walk across the U.S. and actually fuck the U.S.
Well, there's a lot of borders in the world.
It is illegal anywhere. And any American that thinks it's sad, then fine. Take your children and your wife or your husband and go try to walk across Canada.
They won't let you over.
Not the gate. No, they'll arrest you too. And they will separate your ass.
God, they won't even let you over if you have a Dewey. 10 years
No
later.
shit, man.
10
Dude,
years later, they're
Joey
still going,
Diaz can't get in fucking Canada because he
know.
had a felony.
I know.
Like,
It's
so it's
crazy.
just fascinating to
I was just in Australia, and they actually did an entire fucking background check. They actually, it's somewhat optional, but they do encourage it to basically write down your entire family tree. That's hilarious. From a country that is based off of,
But do you see?
cast off
Do you see why I brought this topic up?
killers
Because
and
it's
shit
the
like that.
same thing. It's
everywhere.
fact picking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and everyone can get caught up in
Like
the emotional
cherry-picking
thing.
facts.
Well, it's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, of course, it's fucking sad that kids are being separated, and that's the only option for the parents. I don't think they're all bad people, but at the end of the day, there are people from Mexico that submitted a fucking application and came here legally.
or any other culture. Have you seen?
No, but I'm talking.
No,
yeah,
I know.
you're right.
Have you seen
Any other
pictures-
culture.
Have you seen pictures of the other side of Mexico of blocking any kind of border that they have on the other side? It's like a massive wall. Like I don't know if these were cherry picked pictures, but like it just showed the strength of the wall that they have on their border versus like ours. So it's just funny. Like,
See,
Canada's doing it, we're doing it.
No, but the fact is, anyone does it.
Everyone does it.
Try to go to Europe and say I'm going to get a job and just live here. It ain't fucking happening.
It's even
man.
harder for European unions to do it. Like,
They'll
it's
deport
hard.
your ass. You'll have to go through a legal process. It's a problem, and it's really that is what's up. That is what I have.
You get fined in England, I think, if you're caught working. I mean, like
That's why I
anywhere
have
else,
no
it's a
faith
fucking
in
thing.
humanity, though. That's why because some of those comments to Elon Musk
Yeah.
were, why isn't he helping the kids that are stuck at the board? Like, because there is no problem to solve. The problem to solve, I love the movie Liar Liar. He wants your legal advice. Stop breaking the law, asshole, is what the guy says. That's what Jim Carrey says.
Yeah.
That's what he says. Stop breaking the law, asshole. And while I don't think these people are assholes, they're coming from a shit country. I understand it, but they're in tough situations. But let's be honest here. It is illegal to cross a fucking border, man.
Yeah.
And if you get separated, your family gets separated, what the fuck else are you supposed to do to them? Oh, yeah, here, we're going to give you a house at the border while we detained you illegally for crossing the border.
Well, I think they already won by having their kids being kind of taken in, because then at least their seed proceeds to grow somewhere.
But
like
it's
where
just
they wanted to. That's
what I'm talking about.
That's fucking.
Because I don't want to get into the debate of
right there.
how you solve. Like, first of all, it should
you.
not be an easy process to get in the United States.
Or any
Yeah, and
country.
that's someone that's born here and lucky to be born
Dude,
here.
Australia has 26 million people, and it was fucking almost impossible.
But you just
do a visa for Australia people.
Dude,
to
you
see how hard
simply
it is to get
cannot
in.
have
just a visit.
a sustainable country where there is a huge. It's an open door.
Dude, go to the UAE.
You can't have that.
Remember the UAE when there were all those Syrian immigrants? How many did they take into the UAE? One of the most oil-rich countries in the fucking world. They took 0 Syrian immigrants in. You know what they did though?
Saudi Arabia
They gave
didn't either.
$2 million just for the cause, but just don't come live here. So there it is.
You know why though? I'll tell you why. Because they're fucking smart.
It's just crazy.
Because they're smart.
Yeah.
And they're not apologetic on that.
Just
It's
we're good.
unfortunate part of life. We are born into weird little borders and weird little
Switzerland
divides.
is even worse too.
But it's just the fact of life. If we want to be okay in our area, we have to protect and it's not protecting our area is not I'm not saying these people are all bad people, but And I don't even want to get into that. What's fascinating me about the border, though, is how, what's fascinating is a person that doesn't like Trump but tries to come at it logically. It's like, do you honestly think that Donald Trump just came in and he said we're snatching people up at the borders? This is something that has been happening since we've had a fucking border.
Yeah.
Forever. Since we have had an immigration. Like, it is the law, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what scares me about the world, is we'll take, oh my God, Americans are snatching up children at the border. Like, they're just going into Mexico going, come here, little kid. We're going to fucking separate you. That is not what's happening. They're crossing a line illegally. Not only illegally, dangerously.
It's very dangerous.
With their children, and they're being arrested for it.
And I applaud the
ones
that
am I
get
missing?
Through. I used to work with a lot of the ones that get through, and it's amazing to hear the stories of 4-day walks and no water and this, and this, and they're through, and they had a path. Like, it's just, that's the shitty part of civilization. When I lived in Switzerland, I was there during the vote of 2013 that basically disallowed European unions to work there. So they're in the heart of fucking Europe, but they're not in the European Union because they're smart, and they're keeping their money, they're keeping their borders closed. People had a riot. Like, they were like, what the like, it basically was a huge segregation vote in favor of the country to not let anyone in, basically. I was living there as a student with a visa at that time, and I was like, Jesus, like, this is the wealthiest country, one of the highest GDP in the world, that just locked out everyone else. Like, it's just insane.
But do you know why they're the wealthiest country? And I'm not saying you got to lock everyone out, but let's be honest, we're tribal people.
Yeah.
And that moves on to the next topic here. Yeah. Are we caring, less or more about politics today?
Yeah, that's a good question. For me, I'm drained. I've been drained since the emails. I've been drained since the snatching of the twangs. Grab them by the twang. Like, I'm so...
Grab them right by the pussy.
I'm drained that I feel like nothing has changed. It feels like a childish debate between everyone now. This side, that side, this side, that side. It's just draining to turn on the news and not see a beautiful story like the Thailand rescue. Somebody lost his life. That person should be fucking heroically enshrined. But then we get to hear about the dirt on the new selections that DJ T just took. It's like, can we just do something
I think
different?
we are caring less about politics.
We as just...
As a society.
Younger, older generation.
I think everyone.
Everyone, okay.
But then some people would say, well, what are we bitching about? I don't think we're bitching about politics. I think we are bitching about absolute bullshit rhetoric that means nothing.
Let's ask Jordan Peters.
Well, I don't think it's politics at this point. I think what we're bitching about is like ethics almost of how, like... Because honestly, I think if you took all of the social, or not even so, if you just took the political questions and said, what are your thoughts on a border? What are your thoughts on this? Yes, we all will differ to a degree, but the amount of hatred that the left or the right or the middle has for each other and the amount that is being thrown in our face. Like, dude, I don't like Donald Trump. I don't know. But here's the deal. I don't like the fucking government either. It's not like not just Donald. He didn't just walk in and say, I'm changing shit around here. The system is fucking broken.
Well,
as people, you can't see that shit, man. You're crazy to me. Yeah. Like, you're just crazy. And we do have this problem where we're not talking about politics anymore, but I guess it is. We are more caring about, like, our beliefs.
Yeah.
Which you might say, well, our beliefs are politics, and then they turn into policies. Well, but the problem is any belief that anyone has now, that should be a policy. Like, so I think we're caring less about politics and more about our individual belief of shit. Like, I believe everyone should have a job. I believe everyone should have a universal income, or college should be separated. College should be free or not be separate. Yeah. Great. You want to live in a fucking utopia? Design it for me. When you get it, I'll check it out. Maybe I'll come in. But I can tell you, there is a fucking. So we're not even talking about politics. We're not even talking about a real solution to a situation. We're talking about my belief on a solution to a situation that the reality is I have no fact on.
Yeah.
Right.
And everyone's gonna be different
because
different.
And that's the thing. Like,
it's draining.
Oh, they're snatching up kids. okay, how else do you want to handle illegal people? Because people within our own country, we do the same fucking thing to them when they are arrested.
Those Thai kids shouldn't have crossed the border into the caves.
Goddamn cave
Don't
boys.
bring them out.
But you know what I'm saying? Like
I do. I feel like we just bitch all the time now. Everyone does.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
that
politics
girl on
anymore.
social media bitching about Elon Musk doing something very positive for the world. What has that girl done? Nothing. She blocked fucking Dozer, a troll in her eyes.
Well, because that's another thing, though. See, that's where I started to laugh about. It's funny. I wasn't rude. I could see if I was rude, like dumb cunt. What'd you say? I didn't say anything. I just simply stated a couple facts and I'm blocked.
Because she put it out publicly. It wasn't like a private thing.
But see, that's the problem.
There.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
If I don't like what you're saying, I could just block you.
Yeah.
And then I can say Wallace is an asshole.
Yeah.
So I can block you and Wallace is an idiot.
Yep.
And honestly, like I said, I have to say it 4 or 5 times on this on this podcast because we're talking about politics, but I think that happens a lot to Donald Trump. I really do. I think the guy's he sounds like an asshole half the time. But I think half the time too, people are just fucking, they've shut off logic on certain things and don't understand that the same shit happened under a president before and the president before that. You just happened to like that president. So you didn't block out all of when you like someone, you block out all the bad things they do.
Dude, I feel like
when you don't like someone, you highlight all the bad things they do.
I feel like we're watching the WWF, the WWE.
It's sad, man.
No, because people used to love certain people. I don't watch it, but like people love these characters. Then they do something, then they hate them. And there's backstories, and they only talk. It's like a drama.
He's a traitor. He turned his back on.
It's true.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, he took his shirt off, and like now he's on this team.
I'm an Ultimate Warrior fan.
But I feel like we're watching a drama, and it is really funny. Because you're right. Everyone's
it's a good analogy because we're all stuck in. And we're
fixated on it.
Not only that, we're stuck in shit that doesn't matter. It's fake. And I'm not saying
it
fake news.
Like entertainment.
I'm not saying fake news. I'm saying it's fucking like I said. If you cannot criticize, if you want to criticize something,
maybe
and you don't have a fucking solution for it, and you just want to say that this guy is bad, when the fact is every president and every government has done the same damn thing. But when you like them, you hide their bad. When you don't like them, you shine their bad.
Who is
and that's real strange.
Was it MLK that said, if you want change, be the change?
Probably.
I think it was him. So who was that 28-year-old that just won something in New York? It's a girl that won like an election.
Oh, yeah, the socialist girl.
I don't know who it is, but that's somebody who's at least doing something and not just bitching and watching the television and going, this drama's fucking ridiculous, and then tweeting about it. And they went out and actually fucking played the system. I don't know what she stands for or what,
she's a socialist.
What movement's going to happen.
Which I don't like socialists, but I agree with you.
I just think it was like I
said,
she did something.
Good. Well,
does
here's
she have
the
a background?
deal.
Who fucking knows?
Here's the deal. Good for her.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing. She's getting her point across.
There it is.
It doesn't seem like she's attacking people. She's just saying shit needs to change. And here, I have some fucking ideas.
That's kind of cool.
Who knows if the ideas are going to work?
Or
it's when people say my idea is 100% the idea that's going to work.
Totalitarianism.
And it doesn't make it. And then you're going, wait a minute. Like I said, the border. That's why I brought it up, because it's like, okay, fundamentally, I think we can all agree it's sad to take children away from their parents.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, too, if I asked most logical Americans, hey, go cross Mexico's border, and take your children with you. What do you think they say? Are you out of your fucking mind? Of course I'm not going to do that.
I got tickets to the game tomorrow.
Why won't you do that? Because I'm going to be arrested.
Yeah.
Because it's going to cause a problem for my family. That's a bad analogy, because a lot of people would say, well, Americans would never go there. These people are in very bad situations and they want to come. That's not the point. The point is how can you say it's wrong to do one thing when you really don't have another solution? You don't even understand what the problem is at a border, of any border. Mm-hmm. Like, and that so yeah.
You're right. So I think to kind of answer this question, we do not care about politics.
No.
In 2018, we care about bitching.
Personal. We care about personal
of
opinions.
Yeah.
If I want to be called a rabbit and you don't call me a rabbit, I want that to be a fucking law.
It's a cry
that
out.
you have to know who I am. You have to do this.
Everyone's just crying out about their little thing now. Even trolls are crying out to do their own thing, and what are we supposed to do? That's my thing. Is what do you want from me?
You know, I
want to take the Jerry Seinfeld approach and just not care.
I've said this before.
Is that libertarian? I don't know what that is.
No, a libertarian. Well, somewhat.
Just
I mean, a libertarian
do your
basically
fucking
means
thing.
get the government out of my fucking business.
Get anyone out of my business.
If you think that's fair for where you live and your little sec of people, do it.
Yeah.
But don't impose everything on everyone.
Which was this is what it feels
We've had
like.
these talks in a cabin.
Yeah.
And it's real easy to do when you got a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, right, we can make all
this is a great idea.
We can make all simple rules. Hey, we're going to share food. This is my bed. This is your bed. We have heat together. We all control the heat. Let's not turn it below so one of us are cold. Let's stay right. This is a bathroom over here.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of it. We're going to clean. We're going to clean this room.
I get one beer, you get one beer, he gets one beer.
Yeah. We're going to share. It's all equal. But when someone starts saying, okay, Wallace, the bathroom, that's mine.
I own it.
10 hours of the day. 10 hours of the day.
Yeah.
That's when people go, the fucking nerve on Dozer.
Yeah.
10 hours a day he's taking that bathroom.
Fucking 10, not even the bad ones.
Fuck him. I want it at 11.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, and then the last guy gets fucking 3 hours. And that's a simple analogy. Like, we're not talking about politics. Because politics is like, well, I think we should do this. I think we should do that. Okay, well, whoever's in charge makes the final decision. But generally it should be what's best for all of us kind of situation. Or what's best for, what's best for the country.
Yeah.
Instead, now it's what's best for my belief or my thought process and there's almost too much information. So it's not politics anymore. It's personal preference. Like how many people, like I said, just don't like Donald Trump?
It's a lot.
And they know nothing of the policy. They just simply don't like him. And vice versa. Mm-hmm. How many people simply just like him? Yeah. And know nothing of the policy. They're just like, yeah, he's a brash guy. He's this. He's going to change the world.
Both sides have showed kind of
they're fucking airheaded. Yeah. It's non-logical. It's absolute. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to see more shit like the Thailand thing. No, I'm not saying I want to see more kids locked in a cave. But it sounded like.
Well, it sounds like you answered your own question. You don't care about politics in 2018.
Well, the question was, are we all caring more? I don't care about politics.
We're caring less.
Not one chance.
Yeah.
Because nothing is changing.
It seems
like it's just not. Nothing's changing. And the reality is, my simple rule of life is, don't fuck with me. Right? Yeah. Like, and you know what? I'll expand that. Don't fuck with other people. Yeah. Don't fuck with other people.
Yeah.
Right? And if what the other person wants to do is illegal or just plain retarded, you can fuck with that person. Because he's an idiot. But basic shit, don't impose shit on me. I don't give a shit about politics. I think it's ridiculous. And I think, this is all these topics that we're kind of bringing up here. I want to see more of the awe of human rather than, God, man, we just can't get along. Do you think the guys that were going in the cave rescue were like, well, I'm a Thai Navy SEAL and you're a British.
Who's going to come out of
You're an expert diver, but I'm from so-and-so, and I think, no, you know what they said? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going in the cave. This is what we're going to do. Okay, great. Hey, I have an idea. Great. And they did it.
So, that's amazing. They just weren't thinking about anything else but that specific task to do good. That was it.
And I need more of that and less of bullshit politics. So
way to end.
Let's wrap this baby up, man.
Episode number 2. This is Men Question Everything with Wallace.
And I'm Dozer.
See you next time.
See you guys.